Hi, Assalamualaikum everyone. In this video, we're going to continue our lesson in computer programming and we're going to look at C input statement. Alright, we know that every program must have, or every computer must have some form of input and output. Usually input, the computer gets input from user, from the keyboard, the mouse, from files also, etc. Okay, for output, we have already seen an example of how we can put output to the user by using computer screen. There are other outputs, examples such as printers, hard disks, and also files. Okay, so for today, we're going to look at how we can get input from user. We have already seen that previously we have already seen that printf functions is actually inside this library. Okay, so we have to call the input output functions into our C program so that we can use those functions. All right, this is the function that we have seen last week, printf. Okay, now today we're going to look at input function. Okay, there are two here, but today we're going to look at the first one, scanf. Okay, scanf is a function that allows our program to get data from user. Okay, and there's another function here, gets, which we will look at later. So before we move on and see the syntax for scanf, now remember format specifiers in printf. In scanf, we will use format specifiers as well. And just like in printf, we must match the correct format specifiers with our variable. Okay. Now let's look at the syntax for scanf. Okay, now in this example, the format is we put the scanf and then we put the format specifiers. And here we have floats, integer, and char. And then we must match, or we next to the format specifier here, we put the argument list, either variable, array, or files, or whatever the appropriate argument list are. Alright, and the most important thing is that we must match our format specifier with the correct variable lah, or the argument. Right, if it's a float, we must match it with this one must be a float. The next example, integer, so we must provide it with the correct variable. And finally, a character, we must provide ch. This ch variable must be a char variable. Okay, and if you notice here, there's a new symbol there that we haven't seen before. So this symbol AND is an operator which used in scanf function. What does it do? It provides the address of the variable. Okay, so when we use scanf, we must put this symbol AND in front of our variable. Okay, and we only use it when we want to store data into variable or array or whatever. Alright, in printf, we don't need to put this operator. For now, only in scanf function. Okay, scanf function, when we put the variable, we must put this operator next to the variable. Okay, if we compare it with printf here, there's no AND operator there. Okay, so please be careful with this. Next, let's do an example. Okay, let's say I want to run this. I want to run this program in code block. So let's try that. I open my code block. I've already open a project here, create a project here. So I want to, in this example, I want to ask the user to enter a character, which I will put in CH, and I will also ask the user to enter a number, and I will put that number as an integer in the variable num. All right, so it's just a simple program. All right, so let's declare our variables. So char ch, okay, and sorry, integer num. All right, let's name char and ch and num. Okay, and next we ask the user. So we need to communicate with our user. If you want a user to enter a letter, for example, so we ask the user, print out, please enter a letter. Okay, and don't forget our slash n. All right, and what do we do after this? We immediately scan the character that the user enter. Okay, so just scan F, and then if you notice here, the the software already suggests what variable that should be there. Okay, scan F, and mm, so we want to ask the user to enter a letter, so it should be %C, and instruct the compiler where to store the variable. In this case, it's a character, so we have already declared our variable here, so we point it to our variable. Okay, and then let's try to print um, the variable that the user had entered. Okay, now let's just write, you have entered a letter. Okay, and print our letter ch, which is stored in ch. All right. Okay, now let's try to print this one first, or rather let's try to build and run this one. Okay, hopefully no error. All right, no error there. So please enter a letter. Let's say I entered the letter Q and press enter. So we print, you have entered a letter Q. Okay, now let's do another one. Ask the user to enter a number this time. Okay, please, please enter a number. So just copy and paste and change it. Okay, so please enter a number. So this time will be D, and the variable is num. Okay, it's just simple format like that. Scan F, give the correct format specifier and point it to the corresponding variable. Okay, where you want to store. So point the compiler to where to look for the variable at this address. Okay, and then you have entered a number. You've entered a number. What number? So we provide the compiler with the variable that we store the number in. Okay, where we store the number. Okay, let's run this one. Alright, please enter a letter, W this time. You have entered a letter. Please enter a number, 1. Okay, now here I forgot to put the slash n. Alright, slash n. Alright, let's run that again. Please enter a letter Q. Please enter a number 2. You have entered a number 2. Okay, so we have successfully run a program that get or collect input or data from user. Okay, now back to our notes. Okay, there's an exercise that I would like you to try. Okay, try to write a program based on this flowchart. If you remember this flowchart, we have done this flowchart in chapter 1, where we learned about flowchart. Okay, so try to write a program based on this flowchart. Now it has 3 inputs, and this time try to put them or create them as float variable. Okay, float x, y, and z. Okay, and ask the user to enter. So okay, 3 variables, float, and ask the user to enter these 3 numbers, and then you add these 3 numbers and find the average. And then, sorry, this one you need to also print the sum. Okay, print sum as well. Okay, so print sum and print the average. Okay, and your program. Okay, so try this exercise and we'll discuss the answer during the next class. Okay. All right, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you in class. Bye.